Juventus in London to talk to Chelsea about Jorginho transfer. Juventus sporting director Federico Cherubini is in London to hold talks with Chelsea over the transfer of Jorginho, according to reports. The midfielder is out of contract in 2023, with the Serie A side interested in the Italian. As per La Gazzetta dello Sport, Juventus sporting director is in London to meet with Chelsea. The report states that Cherubini has landed in London to oversee a couple of transfer dealings and will hold talks with the representatives of Chelsea. Talks over personal terms for Jorginho Avenue already reached an advanced stage, with discussions now opening with the Blues. Cherubini's visit to Chelsea could accelerate the negotiations between the two parties, the report continues to state. The old lady have been reportedly interested in Jorginho as Thomas Tuchel has already previously admitted that he wants the Italy international's future to be sorted this summer to avoid him heading into the final year of his deal with uncertainty hanging over his head. Nobody wants that with big players and important players nowadays, the Blues boss said. It's a wish as a coach that we solve this in the summer in any way, that we solve it and it's clear where the journey is and what the decision is. Yes, this is the wish, he said. If not, we have the same talks that we have had about Tony and Andreas. You just swap the names. We would talk about it through winter and then comes January, and then agents are talking to this club and the brother another. It would be nice if we can avoid it, but at the moment it's difficult, because of the sanctions. But this should be the target for all of us. Therefore, the Blues could be open to selling their star if a new contract cannot be agreed on this summer. Thomas Tuchel reveals what he got up to after Chelsea's FA Cup final defeat. Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel has revealed how he spent his 2 days off following his side's penalty shootout loss to Liverpool on Saturday afternoon. After a back-and-forth 120 minutes of football that, once again, couldn't separate the Blues from Liverpool, Tuchel's side lost the game 6-5 on penalties after Alisson saved Mason Mount's spot kick. Now, the Blues turn their attention towards Brendan Rodgers' Leicester on Thursday evening as they look to consolidate third place in the Premier League table. Speaking ahead of his side's midweek clash with Leicester on Thursday, Tuchel revealed how he spent his 2 days off following Saturday's loss. I have to think about it actually, he told the press. Sunday I did exactly nothing and Monday more or less the same I guess. I did not watch it back yet. Was not ready for it. It does help. The moment where I feel already on the sideline but also after the whistle that we lived up to the fullest. At this point I can have freedom with it. I will never like the feeling. I am disappointed, gutted. It's a different level of disappointment. I am not angry at myself also. It is like, okay, we played another 120 minutes and of course we will analyze it again and we will look. It gives us a view of what we are capable of. It was much more positive than negative and anger. I just tried to relax physically because we had the chance and did absolutely normal stuff and went on from there to go into the last week where the tension is not the highest around you. You need to take care also about organization stuff within the club, around the team to fix the dates, talk about pre-season. These things kick in now and take a huge amount of time. This is what we do at the moment. So no looking back to the final, at the moment. Timo Werner ruled out of Chelsea clash versus Leicester due to hamstring injury. Chelsea forward Timo Werner has been ruled out of his side's midweek Premier League clash against Leicester on Thursday due to a hamstring injury. The German international has received a lot of game time in recent weeks, having played 10 of the last 11 league games, starting 9 of them. Despite having not lived up to expectations after signing for the Blues in 2020 for a fee of €50 million, Werner's pace is of huge importance in Thomas Tuchel's setup. Speaking ahead of his side's clash with Leicester on Thursday, Tuchel revealed his side's team news in which he mentioned that Werner is not fit to face the Foxes. Kai tries today in training, he said at his pre-match press conference. He did individual training yesterday, was not in team training, still a big question mark. Timo is out with hamstring. Ben Chilwell was back in team training, which was very, very good news and a big uplift for everybody and well deserved, so nice to see him back in training. Of course not available for the match. Everybody could preview that Kova had a big swollen ankle after the match and did not train yesterday. Not sure he will be available. Chelsea need at least 2 points from their remaining 2 league games to secure third place in the Premier League, while 1 point would still make it extremely likely. Thomas Tuchel outlines plans for Conor Gallagher and Armando Broja ahead of Chelsea returns. Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel outlined his plans for Blues loanees Conor Gallagher and Armando Broja on Wednesday ahead of their returns at the end of the season. The pair are currently out on loan at Crystal Palace and Southampton respectively and have both impressed at their new clubs. Both are desperately sought after by their current clubs ahead of next season, but both are expected to return to Stamford Bridge before making any decision on their future. Speaking ahead of his side's midweek clash with Leicester on Thursday evening, Tuchel revealed his plans for both Gallagher and Broja ahead of the 2022-23 season. First of all, they will come back because they are our players, he said at his side's pre-match press conference. When we give them on loan, we do this for them, but also for us to have better players, more experienced players back. They are our players and I want to have them in pre-season and then we decide what's going on. It's heavily linked to them, to how they integrate and what they do and what our ideas are for them and what they want to reach. It's heavily linked to our sanctions situation around the club. It is too early to predict the future for them given the role of the whole season, but they will be back for pre-season, that's for sure. N'Golo Kante reveals thoughts on Chelsea future as he nears the end of his contract. Chelsea midfielder N'Golo Kante has revealed his thoughts on his future in West London, with the end of his contract looming. The French international has been at Stamford Bridge since 2016 for a fee worth £5.6 million after he won the Premier League with Leicester. Since then, he has gone on to win every possible trophy in a Blues shirt except the Carabao Cup, which has continued to elude him. Speaking ahead of his side's Premier League clash against his former side Leicester, Kante remained reluctant to discuss too much on his future at Chelsea. "The only thing is sure that I have one more year and the only thing is to finish this season," he said, as quoted by Sky Sports. "I'll think about it in the right time." At 31 years old now, Kante's future is up in the air with names like Declan Rice, Aurelien Tchouameni and Conor Gallagher all reportedly being looked at as possible replacements. Thomas Tuchel makes honest admission over Thiago Silva's future at Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel has highlighted an issue for Chelsea regarding defender Thiago Silva and his future at the club. Silva is currently 37, turning 38 in September, and will embark on another season at Chelsea next term after penning a one-year contract extension earlier this year. He has already been at Chelsea for 2 seasons, becoming a trusted and dependable player on the pitch for the Blues at the back, which has coincided with Tuchel's side becoming stronger defensively. Chelsea could lose a large portion of their backline this summer. Antonio Rudiger and Andreas Christensen are both set to leave at the end of their current deals, while club captain Cesar Azpilicueta is undecided whether to stay or go. They are currently unable to add players to their backline as a result of their special operating license, however that should shortly be removed once the club's takeover is confirmed. Tuchel is aware that work is needed to be done to rebuild the side, in particular in the defensive department, and solutions need to be found to replace and ensure there is cover for Silva, who will eventually depart. "We had a core in our back three, and we do have an issue with Thiago," Tuchel reluctantly admitted. "He is not Benjamin Button. It seems like he is, but he's not. He is getting older, and it would have maybe been enough to find a natural replacement for this kind of position and keep everybody else. Suddenly, we lose 2, 3, 3.5 players at the back, and this is actually concerning. It is a huge challenge, given the fact that you cannot act. Everybody else is driving from the start, and you are still not finding the right gear to get your kickstart. This is where we are. It is a long race, but we don't give up. It makes it a bit more complicated, but this is what it is. We try our very best to make up for the disadvantage, but there are some things to solve."
That is on Chelsea News today. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Goodbye and see you by tomorrow news.